Hi, this is Simon Chan, and welcome to my No BS, No Hype network marketing training. Members of my coaching mastermind groups can ask me questions on a weekly basis, and today's question comes from Howard, a five-star mastermind member, and he says, "Hi Simon, I'm currently looking to bring my team closer to each other. In other words, I would love each associate to have a sense of belonging with my team, and always looking forward for any gatherings. How would you encourage your downlines to build stronger bonds among each other? How would you create a sense of belonging for each associate, knowing they always have the team behind their back? What are the methods or activities that you would implement within team meetings and trainings to create bridges between cross lines?" So great leadership question. As your team grows, you really get the maximum leverage when they work together, right? So it's common sometimes when, especially if you're a big organization, people from different lines, they may not work together because they normally don't see each other. And the worst is when they start seeing each other as a competition. That's bad. But generally that normally doesn't happen. But even if they're not working together, just the fact that they normally don't talk to each other. I mean, if you're the upline, downline, they probably talk to each other. But if you're not in the same line, they may not, right? So how do you get, as a leader, everyone's under you. How do you get people to working together? So there's basically three things you can do. The first thing is you want to do fun activities, right? People generally sometimes tighten up or they tense up a little bit during, during official trainings. But in an outside environment where it's outdoors, maybe be much more open. Okay, they'll be more open. They'll be outgoing. They won't be as closed. So that's a good way for people to get to know each other. Because it's not just business talk, right? They more hang out. It's like if you go to the bar, there are always people, especially after a couple, not that I'm advocating drinking, but after a couple of drinks, people open up, and a lot of great relationships, a lot of business, is done at bars because people open up, right? You also get to see a person's true self, how they are. Again, I'm not advocating drinking or anything. My point is take them outside the normal environment, outside the normal business environment. The second thing is team bonding events are really good, right? Fun team bonding events. What I mean is one of my favorite things to do, outdoors. I like doing outdoor things. Every year we do a mountain biking thing where we really get to know each other. But it doesn't need to be that extreme. It could be something like, for example, whitewater rafting is one of the best. Okay, it's a ton of fun. It doesn't matter. It's unisex. Doesn't matter. You're girls, guys. You're all on the rope, and you're all working together to keep the boat, the paddle from flipping over. And you don't need to do the extreme stuff. You can do just a lot of there's different levels of courses. But that's really, really good. I mean, one of my key bonding experiences was in Philippines. We did whitewater rafting. We had from diamond directors to gold directors to new people, new sharers. But when you're at the whitewater raft, everyone was on the same level. And we really get to know each other, in person. We're helping each other. It was a memorable experience. And even though when we would jump in the water, just float down, it was a ton of fun. And one of my most memorable things and things I always do on a consistent basis, like whitewater rafting, highly recommended. Another thing is, another thing is when you do a training, right? See if you can get different people working together that they would normally not work together. Okay, so a training environment, don't just pick the same people in the same line, mix it up. That helps. Which leads me to the last three things. It's three tips. Number one is when you do these three things, people generally go towards their clique. But it's like in school, people have their cliques, right? They go towards their friends. So you want the specific instructions to pair people up that they normally don't talk to. So if John, doesn't normally talk to you, Steve, get them together, right? And so they would probably never call each other and never talk to each other. But all of a sudden they're doing it could be a fun activity, it could be at a dinner, right? Where they normally won't sit next to each other, or at a whitewater rafting, put them on the same boat. So they start to get to know each other, right? The worst thing in any activity like a dinner, or even like a dinner, is to have the people that they normally are comfortable with spend time with each other. Because then they're not developing a new relationship. So take the advantage, even like the trainings, the dinner, right? Have people sit. Now, and I leave it up to you how many times you want to do it. You don't want to do it every time, right? But certain times you have specific seating, right? And you want to have people sit where they are not normally wouldn't talk to each other. Another thing is you want to, this would really, people love you for this, is if you can find out people, there's two ways to do this. Someone with similar interest. So say John, he likes to lift weights and go to the gym. And it just happens Steve is the avid workout fanatic who lifts weights, who used to be a power lifter, lifts all the time, right? And they didn't even know that. Maybe they're just big guys, but they didn't know that. But pair them up. And they can start talking about similar interests. Or maybe some people like motorcycles, bikes, and they didn't know that, right? You pair them up. And at the dinner, they'll start talking, and next thing they'll be best friends. They'll be talking everything about each other. And this is where the relationships are built. And when they're built this way, then when you go to the business environment, when you need them to work together, they'll work together because it's all about relationships and friendship. Okay, so those are the things you do. There's two strategies. You find people in common and connector. Be a connector. Leaders are good connectors of people, connecting people, right? Another thing is maybe you find people with different backgrounds, right? Sit together so they'll get to know. And so there's pros and cons for each, but the whole thing is make sure when you do these fun activities, it's not the same people who are they're sitting next to their best friends or the person they always talk to. Then you get nothing out of it. It's the same thing as a leader. When I go to do sit at a dinner, right, like a dinner training, team meeting, I normally sit to the person I normally never talk to. So I get to know them and they get to know me, right? And those are, I can probably teach that person something that he probably never learned before. Now, naturally, I like to sit with the people I talk to the most because we can chit chat and talk what's going on. But people don't get much out of it. So make sure you do that. And also the leaders, if it's a long dinner, you may want to move around, make your rounds, sit in one end and then move to the middle to the end. Okay. So those are some tips, Howard. So I would like, if you're great, you can do all of them. Even if you do a couple of them, even if you just start looking for people in common interests and start pairing them, putting them together, that'll make a big difference. All right, everyone. Thank you again for watching my No BS, No Hype network marketing training. And remember, we are in the network marketing professional. We are in the business to help others. So make sure you have a positive impact on someone's life today. Take care.